Online students, is my voice is loud and clear? Guys, everyone, can you please confirm? So, yeah. Now, can you please confirm me now? Now it's clear only for you. Okay. Uh, done. Done, guys. Bharat, please respond my question. What question? Bharat, I can't see any question in the chat. The chat will be enabled for me only after my joining. Could you copy that question one more time? Please share last Saturday ML recording link. No one responding from Naresh IT admin. Last Saturday, this happens with your class only. Yeah. Bharat, which batch yours? Morning 7:30 AM, right? Done. Have you paid for the recordings, Bharat? Bharat, you will get the recordings only for the paid students. It is not for the other students. Okay. And I joined, but I am facing internet issue. Yeah. Bharat, you are the one, you are one person, and remaining, how many students are there in this class? How many other students are there? Approximately 90 students are there in the class, right? Uh, so only you are facing the internet issue means what I have to do? You tell me. And particularly when you have not see Bharat, okay? Here you also face Bharat. If I'm just here, point number one is okay. Whoever has paid for the recording, they'll get the recordings. Point number two is you are seeing the problem only from your side. Problem from your side means only from your end you are seeing. Means you are the only student. Okay. But when Naresh IT comes now, they will see from the overall students. For example, if they have shared for you the one of the class recording at free of cost, tomorrow another student will be absent and he will ask for one recording. Next time one more student will be absent and he will ask the recording. Like that, in every time one student might be absent and they may ask the recordings. Now Naresh IT team, whatever the team is there, they will not provide the recordings in that way. If they start providing the recordings for one of the student, they have to provide for remaining students also, right? Point is clear? Yeah, Bharat, you can discuss with the admin once, or we'll discuss at the end, right? We both discuss directly at the end. First, let me continue the session, and at the end, we'll discuss. And at the end, as you have mentioned one of the point here, what is the point is, I feel like I have wasted my money by joining your classes. You have written something like that, right? Yeah, I'm going to unmute you. And if you feel like that, you can take back your money and you can leave. Bharat, is that fine? I'll ask the team to refund your money and you can leave. as you have told the sentence that I have wasted my money, na? Your money I will return back. Just simply you can leave. Right? Done. Okay. Anyways, at the last, I'll unmute you. Right? Now, coming to today's class, we are going to discuss the multi-regression project. Okay, multiple regression project. Okay, so in this multiple regression project, that is nothing but where we are having the multi-regression means where we are having the multiple input variables. Multiple input variables, and point number here we are having the multiple input variables, and the second one is we are having the one output variable. We are having the one output variable. Input variables are multiple, output variable will be one. So multiple input variables with one output variable. That too, output variable should be continuous variable. The output should be continuous, which is nothing but number. Okay. So if you are having the multiple input variables and output is continuous, along with the non-sequential structured data, it should be a non-sequential. There should not be any relation in the sequential order of this one. So non-sequential structured data with multiple input variables and one output variable which is continuous, that comes under regression project, which is called as multiple regression project. So first you are going to observe the business problem, what they are asking to estimate. Okay. So it is a multiple regression project where you are having non-sequential structured data. It is a non-sequential structured data. It is not sequential order, non-sequential order. Structured data with multiple input variables should be there, output variables should be there, and that too output should be continuous. For example, the same, if you are having the same thing as it is like this with sequential structured data, output is continuous only, multiple input variables will be there. But sequential structured data, then it is not called as regression project. It is called as forecasting project. This is another project in ML. That project is different. This project is different. So first we have to observe whether it is a sequential order data set or non-sequential order data set. For that type of data set, we have to apply regression algorithms because it is a regression project. Here we have to apply the forecasting project, and forecasting algorithms like time series algorithms are there. Like we call it as AR, that is auto-regressive, moving average, and auto-regressive moving average, auto-regressive integrated moving average, seasonality, auto-regressive integrated moving average. Like this, we are having the multiple algorithms which are related to this. This works in a different way. This works in a different way. So here, how to know whether the given project is regression project or not means, again, for any project, you have to always come in the sequential order. Directly, we cannot apply the algorithm. First step, what is the first step we have to apply is business problem. First, we have to see the business problem, what they are asking to us. So for example, if they are asking me to predict, okay, so today I'm going to take one new data set, which we have not done in the earlier class. Now I'm going to take a new data set called as medical expenses. This is from medical. Earlier we have worked from the sales domain. Now we are going to work with the another domain. Just I'm changing the different domains. Okay. Now the second project which we are going to work from the regression is I'm going to select the data set which is related to medical expenses. What would be the medical expenses? So if you know what would be the medical expenses, according to that, you are going to have the insurance. Point is clear? So they'll estimate the medical expenses. For example, we are having in India also, we are having the medical insurances, like sum assured of 5 lakhs, sum assured 3 lakhs, sum assured 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 1 crore, even that. Now, which type of sum assured you have to select? What is your sum assured? You have to select. Means first you should know what is the medical expenses, what is the medical inflation in the market, and how the medical inflation increases. And all these things we should understand before to that. So whenever I have got a business problem, see, whenever I have received a business problem, we have to estimate my business problem is like this. Estimate the medical expenses based on the input parameters like age of the person. Okay. And we are having other parameters like age of the person, BMI, number of children, whether the person is smoker or non-smoker, which region he belongs to. Based on various features, we have to estimate the medical expenses. That is the business problem was given to me. First, in my mind, blindly, I will not load the data. Whenever the business problem was given like this to us, never load the data directly. PD dot first, everyone, what they will do generally means, I'm saying in general, what they'll do means the moment you give the business problem and the data set, first they'll open the Jupyter notebook. And within the Jupyter notebook, first they'll open the import pandas as PD dot read underscore CSV, and they will load the data. They assume that this is the first step, but that is not the first step. Okay. Generally, what the freshers and particularly students will do, the common mistake is they will go with the directly opening the Jupyter notebook. They feel that coding is the ultimate goal. Coding is not the ultimate goal, or coding is not the final solution for the given business problem. So here you have to load the data. I'm not saying that don't load the data, but when you have to load the data means here first you have to do the research of this. Okay, I'm going to do this one. What is the purpose? I will tell you what is the estimated medical expenses. What you will do with that? Tomorrow you are only starting a company and you only have given me this project to me. And in this project, you ask it for the future data. Okay, we want to predict for the future data. If a person has this much of age, like 40 years of age, and male having the BMI of 20.5, and number of children are 2, and whether the person is smoker means yes, and he belongs to Northeast region. Okay, he belongs to Northeast region, and followed by what would be the expenses. This one you have to predict. Okay, I will predict whether I'll apply the regression or whether I'll apply MLI, AI, that is secondary. I will predict anyways. But what is the use of that? Why I have to predict? What you will do with that? What is the use? If I predict wrong way, if I give in a wrong answer, what happens? What is the use of that? First, I should know that. Sir, how you can know that one means medical expenses. Again, I have to open the ChatGPT or Google or something, because when I don't know. Now, I will ask a silly question in this class. How many of you know that you have to take some medical insurance means how much is the sum assured you are going to select? What is the sum assured you are going to select for your means? What is the maximum amount you are going to select for your medical insurance? What is the amount you are going to select? Some people are going to work in India. Okay, in this also, I think 90 students are there. In this, at least some of the students are already working professionals are there. Some working professionals are there, and these working professionals are having the group insurance. Group insurance means company's insurance. Okay, whether they are going to use the company's insurance or they are going to use the individual insurance. How many of the students knows about the medical insurance? How many people knows about that? Purchasing a medical insurance is a normal thing. Purchasing the medical insurance which suits our needs is a bigger thing. So here we have to estimate the medical expenses clearly. When we estimate the medical expenses, then the medical insurance or this one will be done by whom? Not by you. Not by you. Individuals. Sir, why individuals will not do that? Because individuals are not having the data. Individuals will not have the ML or AI knowledge. My father or my mother or these people doesn't know anything. Then they want the medical insurance. How they'll do? This is not for the individuals. This is for the company people. For the company people, they are going to understand, okay, this person is going to have this much of insurance in the future. So according to that, they'll charge the premium. For example, if they feel that, for example, assume that my mother's is there. If I share my mother's detail, okay, my mother's age, some age and some kind of female, okay, and along with the medical history. What are the medical, I mean, pre-existing disease, something will be there, right? Like BP, sugar or something. So what are the medical history I'm having? If I submit this one to my insurance team, generally without this one, if person is non-smoker or not having any kind of this one, the insurance, they are going to have the premium, approximately I'm saying guys, 30,000, assume. Now, when I add the medical, means I'm having, my mother is having some kind of diabetic and along with the BP, these two are there, assume. Now, automatically what happens? This insurance, they are going to increase to 34,000 or 35,000. Why? Why they have to increase? Because whenever the person is already having some existing diseases, obviously it is a long-term diseases and multiple times they are going to go to the hospital for the same reason. So they are going to use this insurance for multiple times. So automatically what happens? They are going to increase. So like this, based on the input data, we are estimating the medical expenses. This is the business problem. Now for solving this business problem, first I have understood the business problem. So in the future, when I do the deployment, in the deployment, what happens means they are going to enter the age value. Sir, what is meant by deployment, sir? Deployment means, let me show you like this as a simple example. Here I'm just writing the BMI calculator for your understanding purpose. Here just I'm opening the BMI calculator. Now here in the BMI calculator, it is asking to enter the height in the feet. I'm entering the height as 5, number of inches, 10 inches. And it is asking to enter the weight in pounds. I'm entering the weight in pounds, 130, my height and my weight. And I'm going to click on the calculate BMI. And here it is showing that my BMI value is 18.7, which is between 18.5 to 24.9, which is in the healthy range. Okay. Now, my question is, once I click on the calculate your BMI, what happens in the backend? What happens in the backend? So this is a deployment. Whatever you are seeing in the front end, this is deployment. Here you are just entering the values. You don't know what is formula, what happens in the backend, how it is calculating, and why it is giving 18.7, and how this is get highlighted automatically. You don't know, we don't know anything. What is the backend code? We don't know. Just our work is to enter the values. This is end user. Who is going to use the deployment part means end user. End user means a common person who doesn't know about the Python, who doesn't know about anything of that. Just they are going to enter the basic details and simply click on the calculate and it will work. Similarly, I'm going to do this project and in the future, I'm going to create one site. In that site, what will be there means enter the age of the person, enter the gender of the person, BMI, children, smoker, and region. Enter the details will be there. Click on the calculate. Once you click on the calculate button, automatically it will give the expenses. How much expenses is there? It will give the output. Point is clear? So this is the requirement. Now for my requirement, based on my requirement, what is the data I required? So here the data was provided for me. In the reality, now how to know? How to know whether it is a sequential order or non-sequential order means very simple. Take one record and replace this record to here. In another position, just bring that one. Replace the values. Now, once you replace the values bottom to top, top to bottom, any changes are there? Means any difference are you observing? Means it is a sequential data or non-sequential data. First point is this. Sequential or non-sequential. I concluded it is a non-sequential. Second, output is what? I want to predict the expenses. Expenses was given to me or not? Yes, it was given. Column was given. It is a label or unlabeled? It is a label. So first it is a non-sequential data. First I'll write like this. It is a non-sequential because order of the records are not important. Second, it is a label data. It is a label data and non-sequential label data. And label data means as we know output is available. That too, what are the output is there? Output is continuous. So from all these three of them, what I'm going to conclude? It is a regression project. This is the conclusion. Like this, I'm going to understand, finally it is a regression project. Now I will apply the steps involved in the regression project. If it is a classification, I'll apply the steps involved in the classification. If it is recommendation engine, I'll apply the steps. For one type of project, one type of steps are there. Everything is not the same in the ML. For labeled data and unlabeled data, everything is not the same. So for example, if it is a non-sequential data labeled this one, If it is a non-sequential unlabeled data means output only not available. When output only not available, then how you can apply regression or classification or anything? Okay. So here completely for my data set, it is a non-sequential labeled and that too output is continuous. Since it is satisfying these three requirements, it comes under regression project. Okay, now I have concluded it is a regression project. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the regression project steps. What are the steps are involved in the regression project? I'm going to do the one by one. Now I'll start with the first one, the business problem understanding. I'll start from here. What is the business problem understanding means? My business problem is I have to estimate the medical expenses. What are the medical expenses are there? I have to estimate the medical expenses based on the input futures with least error. So I'm highlighting the word called as error. When I'm highlighting the word error, what you have to calculate? RMSE. I want the best model or best algorithm or best combination, the best data cleaning, which finally gives the least RMSE. I want that one. If this is the question, sir, if they have not mentioned that error word, sir, I want with the R square. In the business problem, error word is there. A business problem, error word is not there. Error word is there, miss RMSE. Error word is not there, miss R square. By default is R square. Okay. So we have to estimate the business medical expenses based on the input futures with this one. Now, same question in the interview they'll ask. Explain about the project. Explain about the project means you have to tell only this one. Not explain the project means, sir, we have to explain business problem. First, we have to load the data. We have to clean the data, apply the linear regression, logistic. Don't tell anything. Just explain the project means explain the business problem. The meaning is explain the project means only business problem. Sir, now in the interview, if they ask you the question, explain the business, they'll not ask the business problem, explain the project. Could you explain your project? Then first you have to give the answer like this. Confidently, you have to say that it is from, basically it's from medical domain. Okay, basically it is from medical domain where we have to estimate the medical expenses based on the input futures. And they have given certain input futures like age of the person, like BMI, from region, like this. They have given the some input columns, and based on that, never tell all the input columns. You don't need to remember all the input columns. That is not possible. So you have to tell example they have given like this for us. Never remember the input futures in the sequential order. It will it indirectly says that you have by-hearted that project. None of the person, unless they have by-hearted, they'll never remember all the futures, that too in the sequential order. Okay. So we have to explain the project means just it is from medical domain. We have to estimate. And here I have estimated with 78% accuracy. Simply you can use the word I have estimated with 78% accuracy. Like this. For example, 78 means 78, 80 means 80, 85 means whatever it is. We have estimated. Now they'll ask immediately the question, what is accuracy? How you will measure the accuracy means you can say with respect to R square. We are going to have the R square. Okay. So now here we are also having the R square and adjusted R square also is there. Adjusted R square logic is not applicable in the simple regression. That is the reason I have not explained the adjusted R square in the simple regression project. Adjusted R square concept is only applicable for multi-regression. Okay. Now, so here we are going to estimate with the maximum accuracy. What are the maximum accuracies there? I have estimated with the 78% accuracy. Or if you have estimated with the error means with the least error of, for example, 20 or what are the 20 with the error of 20. Like this you can tell in the interview. So whatever you have estimated, right? Then they will ask what are the steps involved, miss. Then you have to explain the what are the steps. That is going to be the next question. That is different question. This is different question. Okay. Now, so here in the interview, we require the few important things, guys. For unlabeled data, we are going to use the clustering, association rules, recommendation engines like this. Some different algorithms are there, which we are going to discuss in the future. Okay, first one is I'm going to import the NumPy as NP, Pandas as PD. Okay. Now, next, first we are going to load the data. After loading the data, in the second step, what is data understanding? In the data understanding, what are the things will be involved, miss? So basically, data understanding is part of extract. We call it as basically it is extract. The step name is called as extract, where we are going to extract the data from the data source. We are going to extract the data. What are the data is that the data from, we are going to extract the data from data source. After extracting the data from the data source, then we are going to load the data. Obviously, once we extract means obviously we are going to load the data, load the raw data. We are going to load the raw data, that is original data, what are the data was given to us. And then we are going to do the data understanding, that is understanding each and every column name. And after doing the data understanding, then finally we are going to do the data exploration. So these are all the part of second step. Not one, these are all the part of second step. Okay. So first we are going to extract the data from the data source, load the data, data understanding, and data exploration. Total 4 steps we are going to do. Now here I'm going to extract the data from the Excel sheet. So simply insurance.xlx, and I'm going to load the data. And this is the data which is in the Excel format. Just I have loaded the data. And why it is showing only 5 records? Because head function I have applied. Otherwise, it will show the all the records. First 5 ... last 5. Right? Next, data set. I'm going to understand the given data set. Total how many records are there? Means 1338 records are there with 7 columns. And what are the 7 columns? If I observe the what are those 7 columns? List of 7 column names. df.columns to list. If I observe the column names, that is one is age, gender, BMI, children, smoker, region, and expenses. These are the 7 columns. Out of these 7 columns, what is meant by age? Age of the person. Gender. Gender means gender of the person. BMI. It is going to tell the BMI of the person with respect to weight to the height ratio. And next, children. Children is nothing but number of children. How many number of children they are having. Next, smoker. Whether the person is a smoker or non-smoker. Next, region. Region is to which region he belongs to. And finally, expenses. What would be the expenses? Now, here I am going to take the, what are the continuous variables are given for me, miss? That is, one is BMI column, age column, and along with the expenses column. These 3 columns comes under continuous variable. Whereas gender, smoker, and region, these 3 of them, that is gender, children, even children also. Children is basically count variable. Okay, it is neither this one, neither this. It is comes under count. Count variable. Already I told you what are the different types of variable. In that, it belongs to the count variable. Right? So now, BMI, age, and count variables. What are the 3 types of variables are there? First, we are going to observe the relation between them. That is, first I am going to take the discrete variables. df of discrete. I'm going to write here df of first continuous dot describe. Dot describe will give you the minimum value. First, it will give the count. What is count means? Total number of records. Mean value. What is mean value means? Average value. It will give the minimum value. What is the minimum BMI? What is the maximum BMI? What is the median BMI? Already I told you in the class for even 7:30 batch, 6 p.m. on all the batches, I have already explained for you the what is minimum value, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, and max, as to show you the outliers concept, right? So here I'm having the values. This is all for the continuous variable. Now, for discrete variables in the same way, I'm going to get for the discrete variables also in the same way. Here I'm going to write the discrete. Okay. So for discrete variables, I'm not going to get the average value or minimum value or anything else. Okay. STD is nothing but standard deviation. STD indicates standard deviation, whereas mean indicates the average value, minimum 25, 50 percentile is median value, 75 percentile and maximum. Now here DF of DF of discrete. What is meant by discrete? So here I have given the discrete variables. What are the discrete variables? Gender, smoker and region. So for these discrete variables, it is going to tell me the number of unique values. Sir, why it is not giving the mean or same as minimum value, maximum value? Means those are for applicable for the numbers. This is applicable for the text data. So for text data, it will calculate only the number of unique values. And along with the top, what is meant by top means nothing but mode. Okay, mean and median are calculated for the continuous variable. Mode is applied on the discrete variable. So it is going to tell the mode. And frequency. Frequency is nothing but maximum number of records. For example, if you take the DF of gender dot value counts. What is meant by value counts, guys? Each unique category and their counts. If you observe, males are 676, females are 662. Out of these two, which is more? Male. And what is the count of males? 676. It is giving that number here. Similarly, for smoker also same way. If you observe for the smoker, how many categories are there? Means two categories. What are the two categories? One is yes, one is no. And no is the mode. And how many records are there? Means 1064. That is the value it is showing here. Right? Now, so like this, we are going to observe the values. But before observing describe, directly we cannot go with the describe. Before to that, 100% we have to take the each and every column like this. And we have to observe the unique values. What are the unique values are there? So we have to observe the unique values. Any wrong value is there or not? Okay, when you observe that unique values only, you'll observe any wrong values are there. Similarly, you are going to observe for the age. Okay, what are the unique values? Similarly, you are going to observe for the expenses. All these are observations. I think already I told you what is meant by observations and what are the steps involved in the regression project. So open that same steps and do in the same order. Only difference is there you have worked for the single column. Here you are going to work for the multiple columns. That is the only difference. Right? After expenses are completed, now you are going to have the gender. For gender, what are the unique values? Means two unique values are there. One is male and second one is female. Similarly, I am going to have the smoker. For the smoker, what are the unique values? Means yes and no. And next I am going to take the region. For the region, what are the unique values? Means for the region, the unique values are southwest, southeast, northwest and northeast. Total 4 regions are there. And next I am going to observe the count. What are the count variable? That is children is there. Na? Finally, balance is children. Now, if I observe the children 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this, all this, when I have observed all the 7 columns, is there any wrong data in this? Miss? There is no wrong data to my observation. As per my observation, there is no wrong data in none of the column. Like that, how many columns are there? See here, total 7 columns are there. So I have applied 7 columns. Sir, if 70 columns are there, 70 columns you have to apply. Sir, how, sir? Very simple, sir. For I in, apply the for loop, sir. For I in df dot columns. What are the columns? To list. So first you are going to get all the columns names in the list. Df of I dot unique. So df dot I dot unique will give the unique values for each of them. So print. Apply the print so that it is going to print the for each of them the unique values. See, first it is going to print the unique values for the first column, that is age column unique values. Next column is this one. Sir, I want to print clearly column name also. Then print I is nothing but column name along with the unique values. Then you'll get the what is the unique column name along with their unique value. Sir, but I want to print in the next line. Okay. And just you use the /n. slash n means automatically it is going to print in the next line. So here I'm just using in the, okay. So age, what are the age is there? Unique values. Gender is there? Unique values. BMI, unique values. Children, unique values. Smoker, unique values. Region, unique values. Expenses, unique values. Whenever you want to repeat the same code by taking the different value, loop concept you have to remember. Loop is nothing but repeating the code. So just you can add the loop. And you have to observe the each and unique value of the from each column. Sir, is there any other option without observing, miss? Without observing, without doing anything, just by clicking on one click, entire project has to be completed, miss. Then automation will come, robo will come, and your job will be gone. Very simple. Okay, the moment everything has to be done simple way, in just one click it has to be completed, miss. Never think like that. If that is possible, miss, the moment whenever it possible, one day will come, that day is your job in the trade. Remember this. Whenever it comes very easy, right? So simply you can use the, what are the column names are there? You can observe all the column values, unique values. After observation completed, next you are going to observe the data types, df.d types. That is data types of each and every column. That is age of the person, generally number. Number means either float should be there or int should be there. Either float or int. Okay. Gender is, what are the unique values of gender? Male and female. Male and female means text, which is string. String means object. It is also correct. BMI is always float only. So float is correct. Children should be int only. Number of children. Count is always int. It cannot be float. If it is float, is that means something wrong is there. So count variable. Which are the count variable is there? For all the count variables, it should be int type only. Next is smoker. What are the smoker is there? Again, it should be the string type, which is object. Region. Again, it is a string type, object. Expenses, float only. So everything are in the correct data type. So there is no wrong data. There is no wrong data type based on my observation. What I have observed. Now, if I have to use in the future any column names by using the iloc or loc, then I'm going to use here df.info. Info means it is going to give me the total number of records. Total number of records are 1338 and total number of columns are 7 columns, and these are the column names, and each column index number here is available. That index number of age, what is the column index number of age means 0. Column name is age. If you want to use the loc means you have to use the age. If you want to use the iloc means you have to use the number called as 0. And total data types also available here. Done. Observations are completed. After my observations are completed, now what I'm going to do? Data pre-processing. So for doing the data pre-processing, my observations are not still completed. What is completed is only the data understanding. Means what are the raw data was given to me, I have understood. But I want to still observe whether any missing values are available. Wrong values are not there, wrong data type is not there. Duplicates are there or not? How I can know? df.duplicated.sum. So I'm going to get the number of duplicates. How many number of duplicates are there? Means one duplicate record is there. Now I will apply it to my mind. Okay, duplicate record. Whether there is a possibility of any person having with the similar characteristics one more time. Is that possibility is there, or it is data entry mistake? I will apply the common sense. So for example, one of the person age is 19. There can be any other person whose age is also 19 means possible. Possible means possible. It is not wrong. Multiple people will be there with 18. Female, yes, that is also possible. 19 female, only one person will be there. Multiple people will be there. BMI with 27.9. That is also possible. Possible. With the same height, same age, same everything may be available. With 0 children. There also might be a smoker. And they are also from the southwest. This is also possible. Then when everything this is possible, now what are the expenses are there? This is also exactly possible. Exactly as it is like this with paisa. That what are the cents are there? It is a basically US data set. So with the dollars and cents, exactly the same thing exactly is possible. That is possible. I got a doubt like this. This everything is possible means okay. To my common sense, this is possible. How expenses also exactly with the decimal value will be the same past? That is not possible. Means Here it is a data entry mistake. 2 times they have entered the same data. I'm going to observe that based on my common sense. I'm assuming. Okay, from my perspective, I'm assuming that, okay, the two persons cannot have the same thing. Okay, with exact expenses also. Okay, this expenses first, sir, this expenses from this is estimated values or original values, means this is past, which already has completed, means earlier the people has went to the hospital and they have spent this much of money. This is already completed data. So in the completed data, for example, one person has went to the hospital and they're having some futures. For example, let us take myself. I'm having certain age, my body composition, everything will be there. Like me, another person also will be there, miss. Yes, in this world, multiple people will be like me. Now, what are the medical cost is applicable for me today? I went to the medical hospital. They have given the bill of 1,01,392 rupees. Exactly same person, if he goes to the medical hospital, he will also get the 1,01,392 rupees. Exactly the same. This is possible. That much of coincidence is there. Like me, one more person with the similar age means, okay, I will also accept. That in the Hyderabad means, okay, that is also accepted to some extent. But medical bill also asked is same. So this is nowhere it is saying to my common sense, this is not possible. So I feel that it is data entry mistake and I'm going to remove the data. Point is clear? When you are going to remove is not now, in the data cleaning. I'm going to remove that one during the data cleaning process as I feel this one. Right? Now, next, df.isNull.sum. What are the isNull.sum is there? I'm going to get the number of missing values in the each column. So there is no missing values. So these are my observations. Now, based on my observations, now I'm going to move on to the data cleaning and I'm going to drop the duplicates. As already I have seen that some duplicates are there. Now in the data cleaning, because there is no wrong data, there is no wrong data type. If wrong data is there, miss, I will replace that one. Wrong data type is there, miss, I will replace that one. Since there is no wrong data type, I'm not going to do anything. Now coming to the duplicates, what to do with the duplicates, miss? I felt that this is not possible. It might be only the entry mistake. So I'm dropping the duplicates. Which are the record was duplicated? I'm simply dropping the duplicates. Here in place is equal to true. What is meant by in place is equal to true, miss? Once after dropping the duplicates, you have to store again in the df only. If you write d like this, or the another code for this one is, okay. So instead of this, I can write like this. Instead of using the in place is equal to true, df dot drop duplicates. What are the output is there? Again, I'm going to store in the df only. df is equal to either this one or this one. Choice is yours. Sir, I don't remember df in place is equal to true, miss, then go with this one only. Choice is yours. If you write like this also in the backend, it has to be applied this one only. Okay. So finally, I'm going to drop the single record. So total how many records are there now? 1337, 7. Okay. Cleaning was completed because here I have observed the missing values, no missing values, no wrong data, no wrong data type, anything. Now it comes to the encoding. Now since I'm having the categorical variables, now I have to do the encoding. Now what type of encoding I have to apply for these 3 columns? So I have told you 4 types of encoding. One is dummy encoding. The second one is called as probability encoding, label encoding, and ordinal encoding. Now I'll start with the first one is called as gender. For gender, what type of encoding I have to do? Step 1. For gender, what type of encoding? Tell me guys, what type of encoding? What is the encoding I have to apply for the gender? It is dummy encoding. Okay, dummy encoding, or you can apply the label encoding because both will give the same answer. How, sir, miss? Very simple. For example, whenever you are having the 2 categories, if a column consists of 2 categories, there is no difference between the label encoding versus dummy encoding. Both will give the same output. Point is clear? DF, for example, gender. Gender column is there. In the gender, male, male, female, male, female, female. You are having something like this. Assume you have done the dummy encoding. Dummy encoding means you are going to create the two variables, that is female and male. Alphabetical order only. Dummies will be created in the alphabetical order. So automatically wherever the male is there, 0, 1, male, 0, 1, female, 1, 0, male, 0, 1, female, 1, 0, 1, 0. Anyways, you are going to drop first is equal to true. Whenever you are doing the dummy encoding, drop first is equal to true. Automatical balance will be what? Male, wherever the male is 1, 1, 0 means 0 indicates it is not male. Not male means what is the meaning? It is female only, na? Whenever you are having the two categories, out of it is not one category means it is obviously opposite category only. Now, if you do directly the label encoding also, if you apply label encoding also, directly female will be considered as 0, male will be considered as 1, and 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. If you do the dummy encoding also, if you do the label encoding also, answer will be the same. This logic is applied only when you are having the two classes. This logic is not applied when you are having the 3 or 4 classes. For 3 or 4 classes, you will get the 4 columns here, but you will always get in the label encoder only 1 column. This logic is applied only in the 2 classes. So when you are having the 2 classes, when you are for the 2 classes, if you are applying the gender, what are the gender or what are the smoker? You are having the smoker. For 2 classes, if you apply the dummy encoding or if you are applying the label encoding, answer will be the same. So for gender, since I am having the 2 classes, not a problem. For smoker, yes and no, it is also 2 classes only, not a problem. Coming to the region. Now what I have to do with the region? Now whether the region is important for me or unimportant for me. First I have to decide whether it is an important feature or unimportant feature. Now how we are going to decide the unimportant features? So which are the unimportant features? Drop all the unimportant features from your data set. During the data cleaning, drop all unimportant features. Already I told you how to identify the unimportant features means if a feature consists of every record has unique value like serial number, name of the person, we have to drop. Or if the column consists of every value of the same means single category is there, then also we have to drop. Now coming to the third one, in this case, now tell me guys, whether the medical expenses will be related to region. Is having the relation or no relation? Yes or no? Is there any relation between them or not? Yes or no? Sir, how to know, sir? According to me, I feel that there is no relation. One student will say that there is no relation. One student will say that there is a relation. How, sir? Because in the Hyderabad, the medical expenses are different. In Bangalore, the medical expenses are different. In the Delhi, the medical expenses are different. In the Mumbai, the medical expenses are very high comparatively. Obviously, based on the region, the medical expenses, if you get the same health problem, if you go to the same Apollo hospital in the Mumbai and Hyderabad, there the cost is very high. In Hyderabad, the cost is comparatively less. Obviously, it is going to depend on the region. That is, okay, it depends on the region. That is my inner feeling. Okay, common sense also says that it is dependent. Now, what I want to cross check is, okay, here in the data exploration itself, I'm going to apply the df.groupby function. Already I have explained the group by function in the pandas. In the group by, I'm going to take the region wise. Within the region, each region, what are the medical expenses are there? That is expenses column. In the each region, what are the expenses? Dot mean. What is the average expenses in each of them? Northeast 13,406, 12,000, 14,000, 12,000. Means clearly it indicates that now Southeast region is having the medical expenses high. Okay, if I observe the mean, similarly I'm going to observe the minimum value. So minimum value also clearly indicates that Southeast almost, if everything are almost same in the same range means, then there is no difference. If I observe that, for example, if I observe the maximum value from each region, whenever I observe that almost the values are in the similar values, then there is no much difference. When there is no much difference, then I'll not consider the region column. Simply, I will drop the region column. But here, when I have observed, and along with my common sense and these things, okay, for the given business problem, my common sense, along with this output of this one also, everything are indicating that region is important. Because every region is not having the same kind of values. One of them is having the so list, one of them is having the too high. Sir, similar range means plus or minus 5%. Everything remember plus or minus 5% range. Okay, percentage plus or minus 5% means, for example, if you take this one, 63,000, either minimum value or maximum value, any one you have to consider. For example, if I am considering 52,590, you add plus 5%. Plus 5%, plus or minus 5%, other regions are there means almost everyone are in the same range. Right? Now, for example, in this class, 3 students are there, guys. 3, 4, okay, let us take 10 students are there. Some of the students has got the marks between 70 to 80. Some students has got the marks between 80 to 90, 70 to 80, 80 to 90. 1 or 2 students has got the 100. Now, almost everyone in the same range or different range means it is different range only. It is not plus or minus 5% range. Na? Right? For example, 10 students are there. Everyone are between 90 to 100 only. All the students are between 90 to 100 means similar range or different range. Everyone are within the same range. So like this, we are going to say that, okay. Yes, we need to apply the stats to understand the relation with the target variable. Exactly. That is the reason I have explained for you the group by concept. At the same time, I have explained for you the minimum, maximum, all these things concept clearly. Sir, individually, instead of writing the minimum, maximum, all these things, directly write the describe. Describe means the entire descriptive statistics you are going to get for each region wise. In the Northeast region, what is the minimum value to and what is the maximum value in every region? Sir, but I'm getting the data in this way, but I want in the count, mean, all these things should be in the X side. Value should be in the Y side. Transpose. Dot transpose. In the NumPy, I told you. What is meant by transpose? Rows to column, columns to rows. So just you are going to apply the dot T. Dot T means it will give like this. So here I'm going to observe. All the minimums are in the same range, or all the maximum values are in the same range, or the median values are in the same range, or minimum values are same range means none of them are in the same range. So there is a clearly the difference indicates that the region has importance in the medical expenses. Point is clear. Now should I drop the region column or should I not drop the region column? Means in this case I should not drop. Point is clear. Region versus salary of the data scientist. Region versus salary of the Gen AI engineer. What is the relation? If you belongs to Hyderabad means you'll get the more salary. Or if you belongs to Mumbai and you are working in Hyderabad means they'll give the more salary. Or you are coming from USA and working in Hyderabad means they'll give the more salary. No, right? The salary is not dependent on from which region you are coming. Point is clear. For medical, region is important. Where the hospital is located is important. From where you are coming is not important. Where the hospital you have admitted is important. The particular XYZ person has admitted. So, based on the business problem, region I have told important here means in every case it is not important. So, tomorrow you only told no, sir, yesterday region column is important. So, that is the reason while predicting the used car price. You want to predict the used car price. For that, regions will be there. Belongs to Hyderabad. Belongs to this areas. Like this, we are having the different areas. Now, in that region is important column or non-important column is, it is important column. Because car price will depend on the region of the car. Because in Hyderabad, the car prices are different. In the Tamil Nadu, the car prices are different. Sir, okay, let us consider only Andhra, sir. In that, exclusively the entire cars are from Andhra Pradesh only. But regions, they have given me the different city names. Then region is important or unimportant means here also still it is important. Why it is important, sir? Because the cars which has manufactured or the cars, sorry, not manufactured, which has run registration from the cities which are connected to the ocean. Like for example, in Andhra Pradesh, we are having the cities like Kakinada, Vizag. These are the cities. Vizag means Vishakhapatnam. So these are the cities which are connected to the sea. What are the sea is there? That is nothing but Indian Ocean. So whenever we are connected to the sea, automatically what happens for these cars, there is a high probability of rust formation. Because in their humidity, in their atmosphere, automatically the salt will be evaporated, the salt water will be evaporated, and that salt water, whatever the salt is there, it is going to reflect on the cars and it will create the humidity. When the iron and along with the salt both mixes now, it will create the rust formation. So the cars will have the rust formation high. The probability of rust formation is high. So based on this, like this, see, for car data set, we have to observe from the car point of view. For medical, we have to observe from medical point of view. For job salary, we have to observe from job salary point of view. Like that, based on the business problem, the column name and how it is related. You have to observe the logics like that. In every case, region is unimportant, or in every case, region is important means nothing like that. Point is clear? So your entire data cleaning will be dependent on the business problem. Right? Now here, I'm going to do the get dummies. What are the dummies are there? Dummies will be applied only on the columns. So here, sir, you are providing the DF. What is meant by DF? Let us see. Before giving that to the dummies, let us observe. What is our DF? So if I observe the DF, this is my DF. In my DF, here I'm having the age, BMI, children, smoker, region, expenses. Now, first one is gender. What are the gender is there? Gender is going to create a new column here, which is called as male. Dummies. Because female and male, out of female will be dropped. Next, smoker will create a new column called as yes and no. First is no, followed by yes, and no will be dropped. Now, region will be created with the 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of first column will be dropped, remaining 3 will be there. So, like this, which are the categorical variables are there? Only for the categorical variables, automatically it will apply the dummies. And if I print a DF, now again I am checking the DF. See, continuous which are in the numerical format, it has ignored. Which are is in the text format, it has applied. For the gender, it has applied only the male. For smoker, yes. For remaining region, we are having the 3 columns. Now here, false, false, false. Assume there is a false, false, false. This is false, this is false, this is false. What is the meaning of that? Northwest is false, southeast is false, southwest is false. What is the remaining means? 4th category. What is the 4th category? Automatically south, northeast. Point is clear, guys, everyone? Now, so I'm going to do the encoding. Already I have explained the encoding for 7:30 AM batch also, right? So now you are going to do the encoding. After that, other than expenses, sir, now my output variable. Where is my output variable? Every time it is not compulsory, your output variable should be in the last position only. In the entire data set, wherever it is located, also not a problem. Drop the output variable. Balance, what is now? Balance, how many are there? Everything is input variables only. Once you drop the output, balance is input. So here simply I'm going to drop the output. df.drop, drop the output variable. So when you drop the output variable, automatically remaining all of them are input variables, and I'm going to store that input variables in the X. And df of expenses is output variable. I'm going to store in the Y. Like this, I'm going to separate the input variables and output variables. If I want to cross check, let us cross check with the X. So in the X, other than expenses, remaining all of them are in the X. Total how many columns? 8 columns. After encoding, it is 8 columns. Basically, they have given me original 7. These 7 columns out of 6 are input. 1 is output. Now, these columns are converted to total how many columns, miss? 8 columns are converted. 6 is converted to 8. 1 is 1 only. Output is output only. That is not converted, or that is asterisk like that. Now, sir, here, age. What is the age? 19. BMI, 27. Okay. Next, children. Like this, I'm having the data. Now, should I apply the scaling or not? Encoding is okay. Now, should I apply scaling? As earlier I told you, for regression projects, no need of scaling. The complete scaling concept is avoided for the regression project. If you do the scaling also, without scaling also, answer will be the same. There will be no difference in the with scaling, without scaling. Okay? Is the point is clear? Everyone, yes or no? Okay? With the scaling, without scaling, there will be no difference. So that is the reason no need to do the scaling for the regression projects. For regression, we have to do the scaling only for the classification. By applying the scaling, by applying scaling on input variables, by applying the scaling on input variables within regression project, by applying the scaling on the input variables within the regression project. What are the regression project you are having? Okay. No difference in R square and RMSE. Both of them, there will be no difference. No difference in R square and RMSE when you are applying the scaling in the input variables. Sir, if I apply scaling on input variables along and output variable also, if I apply the output variable, for output variable also if I do within the regression project, then what happens? Clearly you'll see the difference in the RMSE. Automatically RMSE decreases. Automatically RMSE decreases. Right? Now, sir, automatically RMSE decreases. You are only saying no, sir. Good only no, sir. Then it is better to do that one, miss. Oh, that is not correct. Basically, we should not do this. Okay, why we should not do this? For example, your marks is out of 100, you got the 95. Out of 100, one student has got the 95. I will do the scaling. How much I will do the scaling, miss? I will do the scaling with 10. Now you got the 9.5 out of 10. Now the 95 marks person is better or 9.5 marks person is better? Should I select the 95% person marks? Should I select this person? For example, in another person is there, 9.8. When compared to 9.8, 95 is better now. That number is better, right? When compared to 9.8. 9.8 out of 95 out of. That out of also important, right? Sir, one person has got 4.98 out of 5. This is very low score, na? Worst person. Right? 4.98 out of 5. Worst person, right? One person has got 0.999999 out of 1. She is still more worst person. Waste. Because his score is very low score now. 95 is the big number, big score. That is the impact of scaling. Whenever you do the scaling, like this, it is going to have in the output variable. So for output variable, whenever you do the scaling, automatically the RMSE decreases. But it is a wrong answer. Our requirement is only to show in the Jupyter notebook RMSE is low, miss. Simply apply the scaling. Always you will get the RMSE very low value. Okay, if your requirement is only that. But for the future data, worst answers will be there. Okay, sir, forget about the future data, sir. My teacher will be satisfied if I show in the Jupyter notebook RMSE low. Blindly go and apply for the output variable. What are your output variable is there, na? For example, forget about what are the input variables. Forget about input variables. Your output variable here 100, 25, 2000, 10,000. Some numbers will be there, right? Simply divide everything with the 1 crore. Every number you divide with the 1 crore. You do the simply scaling with 1 crore. What happens with 1 crore? Now output will become the value only 0.0001 will be there. For that predicted value also will be in the same range only, na? Difference between them also will be very less only, na? Error is automatically reduced right now. Sir, instead of 1 crore, if I do the 100 crores, error will be still reduced. If you divide with the 1000 crores, negligible error, zero error. If your requirement is in a RMSE should show as 0 means simply your output variable divide with the 100 crores. Your error will become the 0. Point is clear? If your requirement is only that one means simply. Right? But which is a wrong one. Never apply the scaling on the output variable. Sir, okay, error will decrease. What about the RMSE? RMSE will, what about the R square? R square remains constant. If you apply the still the same also, R square remains constant. RMSE only will decrease. If you are interested, you can try by taking a small data set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some numbers. Whichever you are interested, try. Some random numbers you take and apply the Python coding. Python coding will not take that much of time. Manual coding is so much of time. Do the with only on the input variables, with scaling, without scaling, and see the difference before scaling what is the R square, after the scaling what is the R square. Similarly, you do the scaling on the input and output variables, and before scaling and after scaling, you see the difference in the R square. Automatically, you'll understand by taking the small data set. So scaling should not be done in the regression project. Final conclusion what? Simply, what is the conclusion here? Means no scaling for regression project. For regression project. Then where we have to apply? I will explain where we have to apply in the future. Wherever it comes, there I'll explain. As of now, not required. Okay, no scaling. Conclusion is that never apply scaling for regression projects. That is the answer. Okay. So we can say magnitude of the values is matter for the regression. Yes, magnitude of the values is matters for the regression projects. But along with that magnitude will be nullified. Means the value will be reduced in the slope. The bigger the value in the number is, that means automatically it will be reflected in the slope. Okay. Done. Next, we are going to do the train test split. And we are going to apply the X train, Y train, X test, and all these things. Now, once that data was splitted into like this, now we are having the 1000 records here and this one. As we know, now what to apply? Linear regression, everything. Now, the specialty starts. Earlier, whatever the project we have completed, that is simple regression project, I'm just trying to open. Okay, up to data cleaning, I will not touch anything. Okay, before to that, what I have done, forget. X train, Y train. After train test split, here some code is there, na? Starting to ending, some code is there, right? Simply, I will copy the code as it is. From here to here, I will copy the code with not even one letter change. With not even single letter change. Copy. I will come to this multi-regression project. I will paste here. Execute. Completed. Multiple linear regression is completed. Coding is completed. Sir, what is this, sir? Fit on X train. X train, what is the X train data? Multiple columns. There is single column. Single column is how many coefficients will be calculated? Beta 1, only beta 1 only, na? Here, how many betas will be calculated? Multiple betas will be calculated. Only difference is that, sir, here I want to see the quotient, sir. Print, then print the quotient. What are the quotient is that? Print the quotient, print the intercept. Sir, you copied the code, okay, accepted. The code of linear regression you copied as it is and pasted, okay. What about the lasso, sir? Everything copy paste only, sir. Not even one also I will change. In front of only I will show you. As it is, I will copy and I will paste. What about the hyper? Everything. I told you now, first time when I am explaining the project only, it will take so much of time. Second project, when I am doing the same way, as it is same, light changes only, na? Light changes, how much time it will take to explain? Okay, but the logic is what? Here, some of the students, what they say is, Sir has explained more clearly about simple regression. Sir has not explained about the multiple regression. They'll say like this. But what is the actual point is, same code asked is, what I have to explain, you tell me. You tell me, I will explain. If you tell me something I have to explain, sir has skipped or something, if you feel, you tell me, I will explain. What to explain, you tell me. If you tell me something, I'll explain. Right? Now in the simple regression project, okay, so this one I'm going to keep on the left side, and multiple regression I'm going to keep on the right side. What are the multiple regression is there? So for this, first I have to execute. In the sequential order, I have to execute now. Otherwise, it will throw the error. First, let me complete this one. In the simple regression, whatever we have completed in the last class. Right? Now here I'm going to print the coefficient. Coefficient is my LR underscore model dot COEF underscore. That is coefficient. Similarly, I'm going to print the intercept value. What are the intercept is there? Intercept is equal to LR model intercept. Now, how many coefficients and how many intercepts miss? One coefficient, one intercept. So here you are going to get one coefficient, one intercept. Sir, coefficient one only na? Why it has given in the list? Because multiple coefficients are possible. Why intercept is not given in the list? Because only one intercept is possible, int only. When it is having single, int only. When there is a possible of multiple, always you'll have the list. Why we have used in the here double bracket? Because input variables can be multiple. That is the reason. Otherwise, why we'll use? Why we have not used it here? Same logic. Because never you can get the intercept two values. To get in the list two values is possible. Now it is possible now. Now it is possible means automatically the data type will be int. It is possible. So automatically the data type is going to be the list type or array type. 1D array type. So same code, whatever here is there now, I'm copying Control C, Control V. Sir, okay, you are doing Control C, Control V. What we have to do in the company? Same Control C, Control V. Your work is also same. Okay. Now you are going to do this. And here, total how many coefficients? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why 8 coefficients you got? Because your extract consists of 8 columns. When you have applied 8 columns as the linear regression, 8 coefficients will come along with the one intercept value will come. Is the point is clear, guys? Everyone? Yes or no? Same code. Copy paste. I have done copy paste only. Anything I have changed in front of you. Now, if you have observed any column coefficient is 0. Here any column coefficient is 0 is there? No. If any column coefficient is 0 means 0 into that particular column. For example, beta 1 x1 plus, beta 2 x2 plus, beta 3 x3 plus. Like this you are having. Now in this, for example, beta 2 is 0. What is meant by beta 2 is equal to 0 means 0 into x2. 0 into x2 means 0 only. Na? Means literally this column is not there. Remove that column. Unimportant column. There is no use. Now in this coefficients, which coefficient is the big number? Out of all of them, which is the big one? 24,000 is the very big number. For which one you have got that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth column. Your fifth column you have got the very high coefficient value. What is your fifth column here? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is nothing but smoker. If the smoker, the person is smoker means he will have with respect to high medical expenses. So the medical expenses is basically dependent on the smoker. Smoker means the person will have the medical expenses. It will just simply add 24,000 additional. Point is clear? So the bigger the coefficient, the more the importance of the variable. The lesser the quotient value, the lesser importance of the value. That is not that much of important. Everyone is clear now? The bigger the quotient, how much the bigger the quotient, that much of more important. For example, let us assume my sales is equal to 200 into total spend. Okay. Now, if I spend 1 rupee, if I spend, that is beta 1, this is beta 1, x1 plus beta naught. My beta naught is 0. Let's take 0. Assume it is not there. Now, if I spend, the total spend is equal to 1 rupee. What is the sales? 200 into 1 plus 0, which is 200. If I increase just 1 rupee extra, that is 2. For every 1 rupee, how much it is going to increase for me? 200 it is going to increase. Now I am going to get literally 400. If I take spend is equal to 3, 200 into 3 means for every one value increase in the x, how much it will increase is called as coefficient. Point is clear? Which in the max we call it as slope. Slope m is equal to dy by dx. Delta y by delta x, which is nothing but y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. If I change the x by 1, that is x2 minus x1. Initial x1 is 1, x2 is 2. If I increase to 1, the change in x is only 1. Your m value is nothing but change in y. Point is clear? That is called as slope basically in the max. So now I'm going to not explain the max, just directly I'm going to show you here. Earlier, what are the example I have chosen? That is, everyone make a note. Why? Everyone please write this one, this example. Y is equal to beta 1 x1 plus beta naught, where beta 1 you have got 100, beta naught is equal to 50. Let's take an example. X is equal to 1. That is y. Y is equal to 100 into 1 plus 50. That is 100 into 1 is 100 plus 50 is 150. X is equal to 2 means the change in x is only 1. You are just increasing only 1. Now what is the change in y? That is 100 into 2 plus 50, which is equal to 250. Now what is the change in y, guys? Your change in y is 100, which is equal to your beta value. For every change in x of 1, the change in y is equal to its coefficient. Okay, here it is not dependent on the intercept value. It will depend only on the coefficient value. For every unit of x, 1 if you increase, how much it will increase in the y, that is output, how much it increases is given by the coefficient. The higher the coefficient, the more it has the impact. Everyone is clear? If you increase x is equal to 3, means I'm just increasing only 1. From here to here, I'm increasing only 1. Again, I'm increasing 1. So from here to here, how much y value will increase? Means it will go up to 350. Just 100. 100 will be increased. That is 100 into 3 plus 50, which is 350. The change in y is going to be again 100. So every unit of x by increasing 1, how much change in the y will be is equal to its coefficient value. And that coefficient value importance is that. So which coefficient value is more, that coefficient value is more important in the entire data set. Is the point is clear? Now, next, after this one, now I'm going to apply linear regression is completed. Now what I'm going to do? Non-linear regression. For non-linear regression, same thing from here to here, whatever is there, copy, paste. Copy, paste. Linear, first, you know how to identify the degree within the non-linear regression. Yes. We can see the negative values. What it indicates, as you increase the x value, the more the x value increase, it drops the value. Now here, what are the three values, negative values you are saying? Now? The negative values are for the categorical variable. So for categorical variable, just you can ignore, not a problem. Main point goes to the continuous variable. Which are the continuous variable? Now for continuous variable, we have to apply. In continuous variable, mainly we have to focus. Okay. Now, what are the three negative values you have got? Here, the three negative values are for the dummy variables. These three are dummy variables. In one of the category, one category is there, means other will not be there. It will not have much. Okay. Now, when comparatively, here, if you observe the northwest, southeast, southwest regions. So now, comparatively, northwest region, when compared to northwest region, southeast region or southwest region is having the lower expense. How, miss? Because here the minus you are going to do now. Minus means automatically expense will be reduced. Point is clear? Expense will be reduced. Sir, how, sir? Very simple, guys. Again, see here. Assume this is expense. Your expense is equal to this one. Okay, beta 1 into age, some age value. Beta 2 into your BMI. Beta 3 into something. Like this you are having. Now let us take the beta 678. Beta 6 into minus 267. Beta 7 into 856. And beta 8 into minus 841. Okay. Now what are the expenses you are having? Expenses is equal to beta 6, beta 7, beta 8. What is beta 6? Minus 267. Okay, 267 into some region name. What is the region name? What is the region name, guys? Northwest. And minus 2, this one will be multiplied with the southeast. And this is multiplied with the southwest. Right? Now, these are the values. Now, for example, okay, now a person belongs to the southeast region. For southeast region, automatically it is going to be 1. Remaining 2 objects will be 0 only. Na? One hot encoding now. One hot encoding means one category will be 1. Remaining 2 of them will be 0. Now, automatically this is 0 means it will not be considered. This is 0 means this will not be considered. So, what are the expenses you are getting? The expenses will be reduced with the 856. For example, if he belongs to northwest region, his expenses will be reduced to the minus 267. Reducing to minus 267 is better, or reducing to minus 856 is better, miss? Which is better? Reducing to 856 means you are getting the more discount. Literally, you are getting the more discount. Minus is nothing but discount. This is nothing but adding. It is increasing, it is decreasing. It is giving discounts. So, which one is giving the more discount, miss? Southeast region comparatively is lower cost. When compared to other regions, southeast region is lower cost. Right? Is the points are clear, everyone? Understood or not? Yes or no? Right? Now, after applying the linear regression, now it is clear for you? Leela, your question is clear? Others also please confirm. Now, after linear regression, now what I'm going to apply? Non-linear regression. Now, in the non-linear regression, first all, I know that it is degree of 3 or degree of 4. Anyone knows that one, miss? No. First, we are going to try with the degree of 2. In the degree of 2, these many coefficients it will create. And what is the trine R square? 856. Test R square is this one. Now, I am going with the degree of 3. I told you. You have to write in a paper. For degree of 1, what is the value? For degree of 2, what is the value? Degree of 1 is nothing but linear regression only. For degree of 2, degree of 3, degree of 4, degree of 5, like that you are going to write. And for which degree, for which of the degree you have got the, see, now test R square increased or decreased? For degree 3, if I increase the degree, earlier what is the test R square for the degree 2? For degree of 2, what is the R square? 80. Trine R square is 85. 85 and 80. Remember these two, 85 and 80. Now, when I increase the degree, suddenly what happened? R square, test R square was increased, but trine R square was increased, but test R square was dropped. Now, should I increase the still more degree to 4? Not required. So, as we know in the previous class, till what we have to increase the degree, in the same logic, I am going to increase the degree up to 2. How you decide up to 2 means I have tried 3 also. 3 is giving worst answer, so 2 is the best answer. Sir, Maybe 4 will give the better answer. Who knows? Or 5 will give the better answer. Or 10,000 will give the better answer. Who knows? Miss? So once you got the worst answer, from that you need to increase further. In the tuning, you need to go further. Okay, till you get the first lower value, you have to continue. The moment you get, you can stop. Is the point is clear? Next, we are going to check in the simple regression project, what we have done for the next one. What is the next project? Next algorithm. What is the next algorithm? Linear regression completed, non-linear regression completed. What is the next algorithm? Is lasso. So just I'm going to apply the lasso. Here just I'm going to apply the lasso. Same as in the previous one, copy and paste. First I'm going to check whether it is working or not. So all the values are same or different values or something. Now here I'm going to take the grid search CV. Okay, in the grid search CV, just I'm going to give the grid search CV between 1 to 100. That is 101. Let me cross check. If last number is the best number, I'm going to increase. But what is the number I have got? 91. Now tell me guys, should I increase this number? Yes or no? Sir, last time, for example, you have done here, sir, 101. For 101, have you got here 100? In the simple regression project, what you have got here? Number. So what are the number you have received? That number we are going to provide. If the last number is the best number, every time you are increasing, every time last number is the best number, means that algorithm is not fitting. Okay, but here I got what is the number? 91. So since 91, I'm just copying the code of lasso, copy, paste. And here I'm going to give the alpha is equal to 91. So from where you got alpha is equal to 91 means hyperparameter tuning I have done. For the given data set, I have identified. How I know that 91? So I have done. Finally, I have calculated these values. Point is clear? Everyone? Yes or no? Sir, I want to check the coefficient values for this one also. For whichever the model you are interested to check the coefficient values, simply you can take the coefficient like this. What is the model name? Lasso underscore best is the model name. Model name, intercept and coefficient. Now clearly can you see here? This is important. Lasso is used for majorly the lasso is used for the future selection. What is future, sir? Column selection. In the given input variables, which columns are important? Which columns are important? Lasso will tell me. How, sir, miss? Which of the columns are unimportant? It will be given as 0. What it is indicating? Last 3 columns are 0. Indirectly, it is saying that region column is not important for me. It is literally saying that remove the region column. For me, not required. If lasso is our final answer, we don't require the region column. Then what is this 0 also, sir? Total of which one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth column is also 0. What is the fourth column? How to know fourth column is? Open your extrain data. In the extrain data, what are the fourth column is there? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is gender also not required. Gender not required. This is also not required. So if you are finalizing your lasso model as the final model, then not required. Which columns are not required? Gender column, region column, not required. Who told it is not required? Lasso has told. Sir, but linear regression, if your final answer is linear regression, it is required. If your final answer is this one, this is not required. Sir, could you explain in a simple way, sir? Okay. Now assume in this class 2 students are there. These 2 students has came for the interview. One student knows Gen AI, but he don't know regression. One student knows Gen AI, but he doesn't know the regression. One student is there, and the student is there. And the student knows regression and along with the Gen AI. Both of them, that person knows. Now, the moment I select the person who is required Gen AI only, indirectly I don't want the regression for me, right? Understood the logic? Here you are having the 2 students, Amma. or 3 students. Student 1 knows Python, regression and Gen AI. Student 2 doesn't know the regression, no regression, only Gen AI. Student 3 knows only regression. Now, I have selected this student. I have selected, assume. What is the meaning of that? After doing the entry only, I have selected. Still, I have selected this person means what is the meaning? I don't want regression. I know that in the future, I'm not going to work on the regression projects. If this person is not having the talent on regression, why I have to not to select based on the regression? If I'm having the clarity that in the company, I'm not going to work in the future regression. At the same time, this person knows Gen AI only and he's expecting low salary when compared to Lee. Since he knows regression, he is expecting more salary. Now, for example, this person is asking 7 lakhs. This person is asking 6 lakhs. Which student you are going to select? Assuming that in the future, you will never use the regression. Only Gen AI, pure Gen AI project. Not today. After 1 year also, after 2 years also, never you'll use. You are having that clarity with you. Now, which student you are going to select? This person who is having the extra talent with 1 lakh, you will select. Your requirement, you will go with the 6 lakhs. Which one you are going to do? If I ask this same question to you, now tell me what you will do. Sir, I know this one, sir, I know that one, means keep with you only. Whatever you know, keep with you. I don't want, na. When I don't want, your extra things, everything is going to be zero for me. Sir, for example, you are not going to work, sir. Another company, they may work with the future regression project. Then that person, 7 lakhs, 6 lakhs, out of which they are going to select. For example, presently I will work in the Gen AI. Future, any regression project will come to me. Then I can't hire another person separately for 6 lakhs. Now, hiring 2 persons for Gen AI and regression, 2 persons is better, or hiring 1 person with 7 lakhs is better? Point is clear? This is only called as model selection. Point is clear, guys, everyone. So it's all depends. In your company, whether you'll use the regression or not regression, whether it will be used in the future or not, how everyone knows. One student will say that, sir, these people, though I'm having the machine learning knowledge also, my friend is not having machine learning knowledge, sir. They have selected him only, sir. Means they don't want machine learning. So they have selected him only. Very simple answer. It is not compulsory. Every person will require everything. It's all depends on the company requirements. Tomorrow, if you start your own company also, you'll also work in the same way. There'll be no difference. Sir, the person who is having the multi-talent, but they're expecting very could you please reconfirm? Everyone can hear me and able to see the screen. There is a slight disconnect, internet disconnect. Okay, guys. Now, after that, coming to the ridge. For ridge also, what we are going to do? Same kind of hyperparameter tuning first you have to do. After doing the hyperparameter tuning, then you have to identify which is the best alpha value. So again, I'm going to copy the same. Okay. First, I'm going to do the hyperparameter tuning, that is grid search CV, and I'm going to give the alpha values, and I'm going to identify the which is the best alpha value. And based on this alpha value, what is the alpha value I have got? 1. Now, when I observe the coefficients, it is saying that these coefficients are not equal to 0. Means for ridge regression, these coefficients, if I'm finalizing my final model as ridge regression, then I have to include all the columns. I cannot drop. Only for the lasso column, lasso regression, I can drop the sum of the columns. Next, coming to the next one, the last, what is the last one was left? Which is the, what is the last finally? Elastic net regression. So you are going to apply the elastic net regression. And for elastic net regression, what are the hyperparameters we are going to have? So just I'm going to apply the elastic net regression also, guys. Give me 1 minute. Simply I'm copying the code. What are the elastic net regression is there? Okay, I'm just copying the code. And in the code, elastic net regression, I don't know the two parameters. What are the two parameters? One is alpha, one is lambda. What is lambda? Lambda is called as L1 ratio. What is meant by L1 ratio? L1 ratio means percentage of lasso. So what is the minimum value of L1 ratio to what is the maximum value of L1 ratio means 0 to 1. Already I have explained in the simple regression project. In the last class I have explained. Now same thing I'm going to use here. And I'm going to fit on the data. And it is going to give me the finally. Okay, just give me a minute. Let it get executed. Yeah. Once this is completed, we'll complete. So all the models, same alpha, same lambda, same code as it is. In the simple regression, whatever we have done, we are doing the same thing as it is here. Copying the same code and we are doing the same thing. In the modeling and in the evaluation, there is no difference. Because algorithms are same, everything are same. The number of input parameters are increased. Everything is same. Okay. Now, if any student wants to say that, sir, I have forgot. If I have forgot a simple regression project, I don't remember what you have explained for the simple regression project. Means for you, my simple suggestion is go through the simple regression project. Either go through the previous class or either remove the today's class from your brain. Out of these two, whichever you feel convenient according to that. How much simply you have removed the simple regression project, that much of simple way only remove the multiple regression project also from your brain. Okay, that is very simple. Out of learning and everything, removing is very easy. Right? Now, so here I'm having the alpha is equal to 91, L1 of 1. Anyone can tell me what is this meaning? Alpha is equal to 91 and L1 of 1. L1 of 1 means what is the L1 meaning of L1 is equal to 1? L1 ratio. What are the L1 ratio is equal to 1? What is the meaning of this? L1 ratio. What is the meaning of L1 ratio, guys? L1 ratio is nothing but lambda is equal to 1. When lambda is equal to 1, what is the meaning of lambda is equal to 1? L1 ratio or lambda. What is the meaning of L1 ratio or lambda? Means percentage of lasso. So lasso you have to use 100%. So it is literally saying that lasso regression. Whenever you are applying the alpha is equal to 91, L1 ratio of 1, literally it is equal to your lasso regression. Sorry. So literally you're getting the lasso regression one more time. The output is lasso regression. Lasso regression and elastic net regressions are same. Everyone is clear now? Now, first what we have done in the modeling and evaluation. within the modeling and evaluation. Before to modeling and evaluation, data pre-processing, keep aside. Within the modeling and evaluation step, what we have done is first we apply the linear regression. Okay. After applying the linear regression, we check the beta values and everything along with the train R-square, test R-square, and CV score, that is cross validation score. And after that, second, we have went with the non-linear regression. Within the non-linear regression, degree of 2 is the best one. And within the degree of 2, train R-square, test R-square, and CV. Next, we came with the lasso regression, calculated train R-square, test R-square, and CV. Ridge regression, train R-square, test R-square, and CV. Next, elastic net regression, train R-square, test R-square, and CV. So like this, we have calculated for every algorithm 3 values. Now from this, finally, we are going to select which is the best model. That is only called as model selection. If whichever the model you have finalized, for example, lasso you have finalized, means within the lasso, what are the important columns are there? Those columns only you have to consider, others you don't need to consider. For example, linear regression you have finalized. In the linear regression, what are the column names are important? Those you have to keep, others you don't need to keep. So like that, whichever the columns are important, only those columns you have to keep, other columns no need to keep as per the regression final output. For example, now here in this, everyone make a note of what is the values. What are the values you are having here? Make a note. In the linear regression, R square is 76%. Next, this one is 70.3%. Test R square. Cross validation is 75.3 percentage wise. Next, in the polynomial regression, you got 85.6. This is test is 80.1 and this is 84.1. Next, in the lasso, within the lasso, 75.9, 70% and 76.4. And coming to the ridge, for the ridge regression, you are going to have the 76, 70.3 and 74.6. And finally, elastic net regression. For elastic net regression, you are having the 75.9, 70% and 74.6. Now from all these things, which is the best one? Best model. From all this, it should not be either overfitted or underfitted. At the same time, train R square and test R square with the CV, it should be the same. Like that. Which one is the final answer? Miss? Yeah, Nitish, how we are going to finalize the final model? Conditions. What is the conditions for the model selection, guys? Everyone? What are the conditions? Train R square should be equal to test R square. Condition number 1. Train R square should be equal to CV. That is condition number 2. There should not be any kind of overfitting or underfitting. And the third one is whichever is having the highest test R square value. Out of the good models, best model we are going to select. First, tell me linear regression is good or bad. Start with the good or bad. I'm not asking the best. I'm asking good or bad only. Good, bad. First, tell me linear regression is good or bad. It is considered as good model. Non-linear regression, good or bad? Good model. Now, next, lasso regression, 76%, 70%, just a 0.9 difference. There is no much difference in that. That is not a problem. So it is also a good model. Next, whatever the difference between these two also, 5.7%, which is close to 5 only. So it is also still considered as good model only. And 5.9, again, it is also called as good model only. Now, here you are having the 5 good models. Out of 5 good models, which is the best one? So, which is having out of test R squares, which are having the highest? Highest is non-linear regression is having the highest. Sir, for example, this one and this one also same, sir. 80.1, 80.1. So if 2 test R squares are also highest, then what is the second option we have to go? CV score. If CV scores are also same, then try and R squares. If try and R squares are also same, then anything is fine. Whichever will complete in the less time. Time wise, we have to go. Last priority is time. I already shown you in the last class how to do the best model and everything. Everyone is clear? Understood or not? Yeah, Ranjita, please repeat, sir. Which one? Ranjita, which one you want me to repeat? Could you confirm which model, which one? Choosing which one, right? Okay, in the choosing of which one, first priority, first you have to write here good models, bad models. You know how to differentiate between good and bad, right? That is underfitting or overfitting is the miss, it is called as bad model. If no underfitting, no overfitting miss, it is called as good model. Right? So within the good models, first you have to write the good models or bad models. Now within the good models, ignore the bad models, delete them. Don't consider the bad models. Within the good models only, whichever is having the highest test aspect, that model is called as best model. This is good plus best. Okay. Yes. Once our development is done and everything is done, then the technical document will be ready for the usage. Exactly, Morley. If everything goes perfectly, miss, finally we are going to create the documentation for that. And once the documentation is also completed, we'll release into the market. The product will be released in the market so that the end user will read the user guide, the document, and they'll use the product. Done. So now using the best model, how we are going to predict on the future data. First, we have to separate the model and we have to predict on the future data using the best model. Now, let's have 10 minutes break. And from that, we'll discuss the balance part and we'll end the session. The last topic, just prediction on the new data. Once we finalize the model, finalizing with the best model, with that, our work is completed here. Right? Let's have a 10 minutes quick break. And from that, we'll move. Sir, since Lasso selected the subset of features, can we use the same features in linear regression model and reevaluate the RMSE? No, that one is applicable only for that. For example, one student has given you the good question answers. What are the answers are given by one student? That answers can you apply for the another student? Simple. Okay, so let's start the session. How to send how to handle the seasonality in the data. Other words, if model works for last 3 months of data after deploying RMS is high. Seasonality, the Bharat, when you are getting the seasonality or something, that is order of the data is whenever you are having the importance or something, or you are saying in presently in the present market, suddenly there is a change and present from last 3 months, the sales are increasing or something. You want to say in this way? Which one? Okay. 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 Yeah. Bharat, could you please confirm your exact question? Like I said in the last, due to some change, due to business strategy, something was changed, and the impact is there, right? From the last 3 months, they have identified a new strategy and they're working with the new strategy. And with that new strategy, how the impact is there? That is the question. Bharat, exactly. Done. Then in that case, here you are going to apply the logic of last 3 months data you have to select. So here, what are the DF is there na? In the starting itself. Now, instead of selecting the entire data, here you can choose the last 3 months data. DF is equal to DF dot ilog. Okay. So for that, what you are going to, this is overall project now. Assume this is overall project, and this project you are going to give the multi-regression project. Okay, multi-regression project. And what are the multi-regression project you have done? Now create one more same way. For example, this is multi-regression project. What are the multi-regression project you are having with you? Copy that one and keep one more. Okay. So just I'm going to show you like this as an example. So here I can see multi-regression project. I'm just copying and pasting here itself. This is a copy. Now in this copy, what I'm going to do is, what are in my mind, 3 months is there now. I will write that 3 months here. Okay. Now that Jupyter notebook, what are the Jupyter notebook is there? I will try to open this 3 months Jupyter notebook. Which just now I have created. Okay. And here, just I will modify the last 3 months data. DF dot log of 3 months data, starting from initial record to 3 months. For example, 3 months is first 100 records are last 3 months data, assume. I'll take this one. And here I'll write that DF is equal to DF dot log. So only for 100 records it will be applied, and restart the kernel and run all the cells. So now the entire project will be completed on the 100 records. Is the point is clear? Yeah, like that. Whatever you are having, for example, last 3 months, what are the exact question you are asking? You can try like this by considering only the 3 months data. So now in this entire project, now how much month of data I'm considering this? In this, now my DF consists of only 3 months data. Na? It consists of only 3 months data. Now for this 3 months data, whatever I have selected, for this 3 months, I'm going to apply the entire model, and I'll observe the difference. That is project number one. This is project number two. And I'll observe from my end both the things, how the impact is there. From last 3 months, how the sales are getting different. And if I have found there is a huge difference, then I'll go and predict the future data with the last 3 months data only. Point is clear? Bharat. Okay, done. Data should be local like true. Exactly. So let us keep this one side. Now, for the this one, what are the multi-regression project is there? Once we have completed and we have finalized our future data, sorry, the model was selected. Once everything was completed, yeah, sensitive data. How we are going to handle the sensitive data means already you have discussed in the class of outliers, how you have to replace the outliers or how you can retrain the outliers as it is like that, right? Sensitive data is nothing but outliers data only. No? Leela, in the previous class, did I explain for you? Uh, did I explain for you how to identify the outliers? Personal information. Personal information will not be used for calculating ML, right? Personal information will be used only for the communication purpose. With that personal information, what we are going to do? ML means identifying the hidden pattern between them and based on that predicting on the future data. For example, Aadhaar card or PAN card details are there. Those are personal informations, sensitive data. What I will do with that? I will drop those columns now. So physical health data also same way. Physical health data also we are what are the data is having some kind of pattern between them. Using that pattern we are going to work. When there is no pattern, for example, like a health project is there, we are having in some cases. Okay, wherever the healthcare is there, uh, for example, as one of the student is saying that in the healthcare we cannot leak the data. Absolutely, right? Next, coming to the Suresh Babu, we can apply scaling in some cases if I am not wrong. Just give a try in the regression project. Okay, in the regression project, apply the normalization or standard scaling. Choice is yours. Which are you interested? Try. Before trying the, see that, tell me the difference. After scaling, what you have, what is the output you have got? What is the difference in the R square? And before the scaling, what is the output? Take one data set randomly, 10 records of your choice. Any 10 records creating is not a big deal, right? Now create the project with 10 records. Randomly, you take the 10 records and you only apply without scaling. First, let us complete without scaling and tell me the what is the R square you got. After that, you apply the scaling. For the same data, you apply the scaling and now you tell me what is the R square you got. Don't change the data, don't change the example or don't change the X train or Y train. Just keep the everything as it is like that before scaling and after scaling. And what is the difference you have observed? Just you can tell me by taking one random data. It is not compulsory to apply on this data set only. Any data of your choice. Infinite data sets are there. In that, you can choose your own data set, some X values, some Y values, something. Right? Everyone is clear? Now, coming to the future data, what are the future data we are going to predict? So we are going to get the future data in this way. So for example, what are the person has entered the age, okay, age of the person and the gender of the person like this, the details we are going to get. And these details will be converted as a data frame. PD dot data frame. And in the data frame, we are going to give the input data. That is nothing but dictionary. And this one we are going to create as the I. That is nothing but input. Data frame name is input. Okay. Now, pandas has no data frame. Scalar values. So whenever I'm trying this one, automatically it is should be in the dictionary should have the list. whenever the dictionary is getting converted to data frame, if it is getting converted as a series, not a problem. But whenever it is trying to get converted as a data frame, 100% the value should be in the list. It should not be in the fundamental data type. Advanced data type should be there. So just I'm going to keep the output like this. Okay. Now I'm having the data, future data. For this future data, I have to predict the expenses. What are the expenses is there? I have to predict the expenses. Now for predicting the expenses for this particular data, that is age, gender, BMI, children, smoker, and region. What are the expenses is there? To predict this one, first directly model.predict. We cannot apply directly the model.predict. Why we cannot apply? Because first, what are the data pre-processing you have designed for that particular model? Same data pre-processing you have to do for this one also. For this particular model, which is your final model first? What is the final model you have decided? That is non-linear regression. For non-linear regression, first what you have done? Dummies you have done. You have applied the dummies. So you have to apply same way here also dummies. What are the dummies you have done there? Same thing you have to apply for the future data also dummies. For the future data also you have to do the same thing of you have to increase. You have to transform. What are the transform is there here? You have to apply the transform on the input data. Once it is transformed, then you can apply the model, NLR model dot predict. Now, why we cannot do like this before itself, miss? Because here how many input variables are there? These many input variables are there. This is our model. Now, directly if you use the NLR dot predict, what are the NLR is there? NLR model dot predict. What are the predict is that? If you apply the predict on I, that is input, if you apply like this, it will say that error. What is error? First female. What is this female? How do I have to apply? Because NLR dot predict means what? Predict means what happens? It will substitute the beta 1, beta 2, beta 3 values along with the x1, x2 values. x1 is 31 plus beta 2 into female. How the female will be multiplied with the beta 2? This is in the string format now. How this will be multiplied? So what we have to do? It has to be converted as dummy variables before moving on to the further. So how we are going to convert this one as the dummy variables, and along with this, it has to be replaced. Here gender also. What are the gender and smoker? Everything are there now. Everything we have to modify. First we have to do the data pre-processing. Before doing this one, data pre-processing has to be applied. That is, first you have to do the encoding. After doing the encoding, next you have to increase to higher degree, that is degree of 2. You have to transform to degree of 2. After increasing to degree of 2, then whatever the size of the data, that size and this size should be matched. Then only model will be predicted. So after data pre-processing only, without doing the data pre-processing, directly we cannot apply the predict. So before, what are the future data is there? The future data also has to be done in the data pre-processing. So here the data pre-processing, I'm going to do the encoding. What is the encoding I have to do? Dummy encoding. Because earlier I have applied the dummy encoding, and for that dummy encoding I have got the accuracy. So here also I have to do the same kind of encoding technique, which is called as dummy encoding. Now for doing this dummy encoding, earlier when I am applying the pd.dummies, there multiple values are there, so it has created the dummy variables. But when we apply the pd.dummies on this single variable, here it will not create the dummy variables. That is the problem. When you are working with the single record dummy variables, this is the problem. Now how to solve this problem? To solve this problem, we came with the new solution called as the same dummy variables. What are the dummy variable concept you have created here? This dummy variables can be created not only by using the pd.dummies, we can also do this one by using the sklearn.preprocessing one-hot encoder. Okay, second way of encoding is there, one-hot encoder. Sir, what is the difference between this one versus that one, miss? Whenever you are using the sklearn library, when you are using the fit and transform means automatically in the fit, what happens? This values, what are the values are there? These values will be stored in that. Point is clear? So these values will be stored here. That is northwest, north, southeast, southwest, all these things will be fitted. Means numbers will be allocated. Now for the future data, whenever we are doing on the future data, directly for the future data, what we'll do? Transform only we'll do. We will not do the fit here. Just we'll do the transform. So just by doing the transform here, automatically it will be applied the in the fit calculation is already there. Na? Just it will convert the data here. When you are doing the degree also same. In the degree also transform. Just you are going to apply the transform. Automatically it will convert. Points are clear, everyone? Understood or not? So for the future data, you have to do only transform, no fit. For the future data is nothing but clear, some type of text data. For prime data, we are going to apply fit underscore transform. For the text data, we are going to apply the transform. So similarly, here also the same way. Points are clear or not? Everyone understood or not? Right? Now, so here, PD, instead of using the PD.dummies, so we require the other encoder, that is one hot encoder. The encoder we are going to use from the sklearn. Sir, what is the difference between that one versus this one? Means both are same only. Output at the end, you'll get the same dummy variables as it is like this only. Only difference between them is fit will be stored in the backend. The fit calculation is there, the calculation will be stored. Here in the pandas, the calculation will not be stored. In order to do the transform. Point is clear? Everyone understood? Now, so here we are going to have this encoder. What are the encoder is there? Now, here if you open, if you remember the encoders, what are the different types of encoders we have discussed earlier? Okay, so here just for our simple understanding purpose, again I'll show you that encoder concept, but simple understanding purpose, here I'm going to select the regions. What are the regions are there now? So here the region, okay, now here I'm going to write the what is the column names? Our extrain data. Within the extrain data, what is the column names? Let me check. So here for me it is northeast region. So automatically I'm going to give here the region name is northeast and northwest is FOS. I'm just writing here FOS, comma, and second one is this one, colon, this one also FOS. What is the meaning of this one also FOS, miss? Obviously, and the next one is, what is the next column name? Southwest. Southwest also FOS. What is southwest also FOS, miss? Obviously, it belongs to the northeast region. If these three of them are FOS, miss, automatically it belongs to the fourth category. What is the fourth category? Northeast. So I'm writing here also FOS. Right? Now I'm having like this. Now here, okay. Next, what are the gender is there? Na? Gender, I'm simply replacing like this. That is I of, that is I. What is the I is there? I of gender dot replace. Okay, in the replace, I'm going to replace the male with female with 0. And I'm going to replace with the male. What are the male is there? Male, I'm going to replace with the 1. Okay, this is a dictionary. I'm just using a dictionary here. Okay, and the same thing I'm going to store here. And similarly, smoker also same. What are the smoker is there? I'm going to replace the smoker, no smoker with 0. What are the no smoker is there? The no smoker with 0. And the smoker with S is equal to 1. Okay, next degree. What are the degree is there? I'm just copying the degree here. Which are the degree I have applied here in the nonlinear regression. So just I'm going to, that is nothing but polynomial converter. What are the polynomial converter is there? I'm just using this polynomial converter and this polynomial converter on the given data. I'm going to give the polynomial converter on the given data. That is nothing but I p dot data frame polynomial converter on the I. Now, once it is converted, smoker underscore mail. 1 minute. One minute, guys. Just a minute. And again, it is saying that everything should be in the same order. Just I'm changing the order also. So as per my extract data, what are the extract data I'm having? Just I'm changing the order of the extract data. So in this first one is age followed by BMI. That is, I'm going to use the ILOG and all the rows, columns. The first column is this one, followed by BMI. BMI is column number 2, 0, 2, followed by 3, followed by 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are the index numbers. And this is ILOG. What are the ILOG is there? Just give me 1 minute. First, let me cross check and then I'll explain. After this one, now just I'm going to execute this one and I have got the output done. Now what basically I have done is here, what are the data was provided to me? That data I have to keep in the sequential order. Sir, why all these things miss? Basically, all the things are not required, guys. Okay. Actually, we are not going to get this type. The problem here is we have not used the one hot encoder. If you are using that one hot encoder directly fit and transform, then it is going to be a different way. But whenever we are not going to use the one hot encoder, when we are trying to do in a different way, that is the problem. So what I'll do is this same thing. What are the prediction on the new data is there now? Let us take this one instead of here. Directly I will show you this one in the better. I'll remove this one as of now. And directly what are the data, future data we are going to predict? I will take with the deployment directly. Okay, I'll show you the deployment along with this one. Both of them will be completed in a single shot. Okay, the next class would be on the deployment. How to deploy by using the Streamlight, by using the Flask. I'll show you how to deploy the model in the Streamlight, how to deploy the model in the Flask application. That is going to be the next class, guys. Okay, done. If you are having any questions, you can ask. What are the questions you are having? Just I'm going to upload the notes. The Jupyter notebooks itself, I'm going to share it to you. So the Jupyter notebooks, once I upload directly as it is the Jupyter notebook, without converting the PDF, I'll share the Jupyter notebook itself. But the problem with the Jupyter notebook is you cannot open in the mobile phone. The Jupyter notebook, you cannot directly open in the mobile phone or directly you cannot open the file. You have to download that one and then only you can open. Jupyter notebooks, if you simply double click on that, it will not open. First Jupyter notebook you have to download and you have to open your separately the what are the Jupyter notebook and from there you have to try to open that. Okay, is the points are clear? I'm going to upload the Jupyter notebooks directly itself. Simple regression project and multiple regression project, both I'll upload the Jupyter notebooks directly. You can execute the codes. Yes, obviously you can download them. Ravi, any specific hardware environment requirements miss? Nothing as of now required. Done, guys. That is the end of the session, and we'll continue in the Monday's class. Monday, our regular class. If no questions, you can leave. If you are having the questions, please ask. Yeah. I'm going to upload now itself. Yeah, Nitish, transform is convert. Transform is convert. It will convert, basically. Fit means calculate. Transform is convert. Yeah, Bharat. Yeah, I'm going to unmute you now. Yeah, Bharat.
Yeah, hi Siva. So, Siva, in the initial class, you told that you will get recording if you miss a milk class because this class is scheduled on Saturday only, right? And you also give commitment like which is valid for 1 week. So that's the reason based upon this
1 minute,
statement.
1 minute. Hold on. Sorry. Repeat one more time. Sorry, I missed.
Yeah. So in the initial class, you told that you will get the recording. If you
In the
miss this
initial class
in the
means
beginning.
demo class.
Yes, demo
Okay.
class.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
miss this EML class,
Uh,
right? This EML class mostly schedule on Saturday, right?
yes.
So if you miss this, you will get the recorded video for that,
Yes.
and which is valid for 1 week. So based upon this statement, I just asked this.
Yeah. I understood your point. But the thing is, whenever we are going to have the extra special class or something like that, like here, this is our ML classes are regular classes, right? For example, if I take any additional special class rather than the ML class or something, additional special class or different timings or something, if I'm doing something differently, which I have not committed for you in the starting, then I can do that one. I can say the same thing to the backend team, and I can say that so I have changed the timings and students has adjusted for me. That is the reason I have to provide them free of cost. Means they'll also accept and they'll provide. See, if I have to share you the recording, means I also have to ask the admin only. I also have to say the same some kind of reason basically. Some
Correct, sir. But in last Saturday, I have attended, but unfortunately, I was facing some technical connectivity issue, right?
yes, the same reason you tell to
So,
the admin and you can connect ask them.
right, but no one responding there, right? I message on the WhatsApp on Tuesday only,
Okay.
but no one responding. That's the reason I also asked you in the 7:30 a.m. class multiple
Yeah.
time. But again, you told me like you have to connect with admin only.
Because that
So
is the
no one
only
responding
choice.
what I can do. Again, one more statement like if you miss one class, you will not understand the next class. That is the statement from your end, sir.
Yes, multiple times I will say the same thing.
Right. So that's the reason I asked this recording and no one responding. And I have been with Naresh IT for more than 5 years. I have completed .NET, C, C++, MVC, but I never faced this challenge.
The thing is,
I can only observe these challenges like sharing, and they are not responding with
from my end, I will tell
with
to
your
them
with
only
your
one
class
point.
only.
Yeah, yeah. I can tell only one point is to the admin. I can say that please connect to the Bharat once, and I'll ask the admin to contact you. But I cannot assure that whether the recordings will be provided or not. Now, last class, what are the Saturdays class? It was done at 6 to 9, or it is done before slight early or something like that.
6 to 9.
Okay. If everything is normal as per the schedule, miss, then I cannot provide from my end. My end, I cannot provide, but I will ask the admin to connect with you, and you can discuss with the admin.
Yes, yes. Maybe they can personally share, right?
I cannot assure you on that, but I'll ask the admin to contact you. They'll contact you. That is for sure. 100% they'll do that. But whether they share or not, that depends on the whatever you are going to speak with them and what are the reason you are going to say according to that.
Okay, sir. That will work.
Done.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.